My name is Peter. I'm with Springtree Media Group, and we're going to be talking today about how to figure out the DMX profile to a DMX fixture if you have no idea what it is. There's no manual, you looked online, you can't find any paperwork on it, and you still want to use the light. I'm going to walk you through that. Real quick overview. DMX is a language that theatrical lights use for control. It's a 512 channel protocol. So imagine you have a large console, 512 faders. Every light will use a different amount, and there is no standard. Whoever manufactures the light decides how many channels are going to be required for that light to work. Give you an example. We once went to a trade show and somebody decided to make Mr. Coffee have DMX control, so they decided it would be a one-channel DMX coffee maker. They also decided that when the fader passed the 50% point, the coffee maker would turn on. When you brought the fader below the 50% mark, coffee maker would turn off. Well, the same thing with lights. Manufacturer will decide, let's say it's an RGBW, 3 colors, red, green, blue, and a dimmer. Well, that would be a 4 DMX channel light. Your first 4 faders will control that fixture. All right, so here's some hints. The first thing to do is if you have a fixture like a strip light like this one right here, and there's no name on it, you have no idea, one of the first things to do is go online to a known manufacturer like Springtree Media Group at springtree.net, chevetlighting.com, adj.com. Find similar fixtures. Go look at the DMX profile, and get an idea of what different traits are associated with a light like this. Some of these can get confusing because if they do what is called mapping, a simple light like this could use as many as 50 channels, 56 channels, because it lets you control each individual LED lens, which might have red, green, blue, amber, white, or let's say it's 5 colors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times 5 control right there. You've got 60 channels plus macros, other things. So it can get confusing with a light like this. But here is the next step you're going to do. When you get the light, you're going to scroll through the channels. So what you want to do is scroll through the menu until you get, well, right there you could do red up and down, but that is not DMX control. Blue, lime. There's your DMX channel. You could definitely, when you are going to figure out what a light does, you want it to be on channel 1. Enter. But now, keep scrolling. Oh, look, we're in luck on this fixture. It lets us know how many channels, but when it tells you how many channels, you're also able to change the channels. So this is pretty cool. It'll work as a 4-channel, a 6-channel, and a 9. Let's keep life simple. Hit enter. Let's start it as a 4-channel light. So now we have the addressing to 1. 1, we want it simple so you're not jumping channels on a console. We're going to start at channel 1. We know it's 4 channels because we just told it. I have no idea what those 4 channels do. You're going to need a controller that just sends DMX information right off the bat. And what I mean by this is you can't get into a complicated console like the Hog or a Camsys or a Grande May that requires you to have the profile already in the system. You need a simple controller like Show Express, which is a Chevet computer-based program, or this is the American DJ, DMX Operator. Because right here, right off the top, when I hit fixture 1 up here, I have 8 faders to play with. And I know I'm only going to need 4. So now that I've got my DMX at channel 1 on this, I'm going to start playing. Oh, look at that. Red, green, blue, and lime. There are my 4 channels. I have no dimmer control. So now I have identified that this fixture at 4 channels is red, green, blue, and lime. Very simple. And I can write that down. And let's say I want more control. So next, I'm going to go back to the light. I'm going to scroll. I'm at 4 channel. I'm going to go up, hit enter. Now I'm on 6 channel mode. Let's see what 6 channels does on this light. So we get our controller again. 1 does nothing, 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 nothing. 5 is most likely going to be either a strobe or a fader. And so I'll bring that up, bring up 1. There it is. It is your dimmer for the light. So now I can bring up dimmer and nope, not there. I still don't know what it does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me bring up the 6th one. Lime is 1 is not correct. So let's bring up 1. Okay, getting there. 1 is your dimmer. 3 is red. 4 is green. 5 is blue. And 6 is lime. So now I can color mix here. And what's beautiful is once I have the color I like, that's what a dimmer does on a 6 channel. It lets you keep the color and change the intensity. Channel 2 is strobe. So if you're going to make a note, and on this particular fixture, it's a 6 channel fixture, you have dimmer, strobe, red, green, blue, lime. And that's how you identify this fixture. We've got a different one here to look at, and you'll do the same thing with the 9 channel. You just have to start playing with them and identify what each channel does, write it down, and now you can use that fixture as part of your repertoire. So this is an LED par, and again, no idea what it does, so don't have the profile for it. We're going to investigate just like we did on the strip light. Now keep in mind, if you're doing a complicated light like a moving light, you definitely want to look at DMX profiles for similar looking lights online, because you're no longer dealing with 4, 6, or 9 channels. Now you're dealing with 12 channel, 14, 16. Some of the big ones are as much as 24 channels for one light. It's going to take a lot of trial and error playing with faders. You may have trouble with a smaller lighting console like the ADJ DMX operator. For a moving light, you may have to go into something like Show Express, create a fixture, just a dimmer fixture with 24 channels. It thinks you're doing 24 dimmers, but DMX doesn't care. You now have 24 faders to play with, and it's a matter of playing with the different faders. One thing that's almost always consistent on moving lights, channel 1 is your X, which is your left to right. Channel 3 is usually your tilt, up and down. And channel 2 and 4 are micro X, micro Y movements. So that's a little hint there that'll save you some time. Your first 4 channels usually deal with the movement of the light. Then you're going to have gobos, you're going to have color wheels, prisms, rotation, macros, dimmer, strobe effect, even sometimes a channel that commands different things. For instance, turn the lamp off while moving. And it can get complicated. One of the first things you want to do on a moving light is identify your strobe, which needs to be all the way up, because they call it a shutter. And if the shutter's closed, you get no light. Shutter's in the middle, it's going to start strobing. So bring out and then bring up a dimmer, and you'll have a round white spotlight to begin with. You don't need any other faders up on a moving light. Identify the 2 main ones, which is going to be your shutter and your dimmer. Once you've got those up, bring down one at a time, and when it strobes, you know which is the strobe. When the other one just dims the light, that's your dimmer. All right, so we're going to figure out what this one here does. Just like we did on the other light, the first thing we're going to do is try to scroll through the back and see if it lets you decide how many, if it gives you a channel option. Many lights do not. Many lights come as one protocol. It may be a 5 channel, maybe an 8 channel, and that's all you get with it. Others let you decide how many channels for that particular light. That's a nice thing if you find it, because then you're not guessing all over the map. I mean, a simple light like this can easily be 9 channels. You can have dimmer, strobe, let's say it's a 5-color light. That's 5 faders for the light. It can have a macro fader. It could be a pre-select color fader. And those are just effects that are built into the light. And everybody's different. Every light is different. We're going to go scroll through this again and see if it gives us, as I was doing this, the lens has just moved in my hand here. So now I know there's going to be a fader for zoom. It's a zoomable light. There's my address. I'm going to hit enter. It's on 1. I'm good with 1. I'm going to keep going. Channel. Let's hit enter. Oh, there we go. You have a 10 channel, 18 channel. Oh boy. Let's start with the 10 channel. 10 channel and 18 channel. That's going to be hard enough to figure out. So I'm going to put it off axis so that it doesn't blind the camera. And we are back here to try to figure out what does what. I'm going to start one at a time. Hey, there we go. Can you see that right here, folks? Now I know channel 7 is the zoom, so I can write that down. Channel 8 does nothing by itself. I have to flip pages on this console so I can get to channels 9 and 10. Flip back, it didn't work. So now I'm going to bring up 1, 2, I've got red there, green, blue, white. Okay. Very cool. So now I'm almost sure that my first channel is dimmer, and it is. Second channel is red, green, blue, white. And let's see, there we go. Our sixth channel is, I'm sorry, blinding the camera. Our sixth channel is strobe, and our seventh channel is the zoom. Very nice light. All right, channel 8 is just scrolling through different colors, preset colors. That's my macro. I'm going to flip the page. And I have no idea what 9 and 10 are doing. But here's a good thing. If you don't care what 9 and 10, what those faders do, and you've already got enough control, which we do because we have the dimmer, we have ability to color mix, and we can strobe, and we also know what the macro and the zoom is. We can go with the 7 channels, but you must set it up as a 10 channel. Just leave 8, 9, and 10 blank. You want it to be 10 channels, and here's why. If you have, let's say you found 4 of these in the attic, and you just figured out what they do, but you don't know what channels 8, 9, and 10 do, and you don't care because you don't need it. You have enough control. You still must set it up as a 10-channel fixture in your protocol, because if you have 2 and you set this one to channel 1 and you set the next one to channel 8 because you only need 7 channels, when you do channels 1, 2, and 3 of the second light, you're affecting 3 channels on this, and it can conflict with whatever look you're trying to go on here. So be sure to set it up as a 10-channel protocol, even though you have no idea what channels 8, 9, and 10 do. I don't even want to guess what this does at 18 channels, but you know the process now. Hopefully I've made life a little easier for how to identify the DMX traits on a fixture like this, or any fixture. You got a little work ahead of you, but with some patience, you'll figure it out. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel and follow us. You'll love the videos, quick overviews of all of our products.